And peace be multiplied unto you. I welcome you to today's lesson in Maths on the topic Algebra. So, this is a continuation on the previous lesson we've been treating in Algebra, and we shall proceed and move forward. So, objective for this lesson is that by the end of the lesson, the student will be able to express a given problem as an equation where the unknown is represented by a variable. So, as earlier discussed, algebraic expressions can be written in the word form. So sometimes in questions you realize that instead of the algebraic expression written mathematically, it will be written in a word form. So it is very important to understand algebraic expressions or equations literally. For example, 5 more than the number is also written as 5x plus 5, where the number is x. 2 less than the number is x minus 2, where the number is x. So sometimes when you see just a statement written algebraic, an algebraic statement or an algebraic expression written mathematically, you can also change it or understand it in the word form. So it is therefore very important to make meaning of algebraic equations like 3x plus 2 is equal to 8. So 3x plus 2 is equal to 8. The moment you say, you can also explain it that 3 times a certain number plus 2 is equal to 8. Okay, so if you're asked to find the number, you should be able to find it, because 3 times a certain number plus 2 is equal to 8. So that number is definitely going to be 2, because 3 times 2 is 6 plus 2 is 8. Okay, the second one is 5 times a certain number is equal to 10. So this is the meaning. 5 times a certain number is equal to 10. And what number is that? 2. And the third one is 10 plus a certain number is equal to 20. What number is that? The number is 10. So that is how to make meaning of algebraic equations, because these equations can be read in a word form. So examples of algebraic equations, we have 3 plus p is equal to 11. So when you have 3 plus p is equal to 11, you can either think about it in the word form that 3 plus a certain number p is equal to 11. So what number is that? It's definitely going to be 8, because 3 plus 8 gives you 11. Okay, but in the mathematical sense, what you are supposed to do is that you realize that coming to the next step here, you realize that what happens is that 3 moves to this side. Okay, let's take it again. 3 moves to this side of the equation, leaving what? P behind. So 3 moves to this side, p stays, 11 also stays. The only thing that moved was p, moving to this side. But when p moved, when p moved, sorry, when p moved, you realize that, sorry, when 3 moved, you realize that it became minus 3, negative 3. 3 here was positive, but when it moved across the equal to sign, it became negative 3. Why? Because any number that moves, if there is an equal to sign here, any number that moves across the equal to sign changes its sign to be negative. So if 3 was negative, once it moves to this side, it's going to be positive 3. So bear that in mind. Any number that moves across the equal to sign changes its sign. So that is how come p here stayed, and then the 3 here, when it moved to this side, became a negative 3. So the answer is 11 minus 3, and we have p equals to 8. Okay, let's look at this one too. So the question is 14 minus p is equal to 8. So you can think about it this way. 14 minus a certain number will give you 8. What number is that? So you can calculate it in your head. But then you can also look at it this way. P is negative. So we want p to be positive. So we move p to the side across the equal to sign. It now becomes positive. And then we want p to stand alone, so we are going to move 8 to this side. Now 8 is positive, so when it moves across the equal to sign, it's going to be negative. Okay, so we are going to have negative 8 plus 14 is equal to p. Now negative 8 plus 14 is the same as 14 minus 8. It's the same as 14 minus 8, so don't get it twisted. So negative 8 plus 14 is the same as 14 minus 8. And what is 14 minus 8? 14 minus 8 is 6. So p is equal to 6. Let's move on. So let's look at another example. We have 3x plus 3x is equal to 6 plus 9. So you can solve this one first. So 6 plus 9 is what? 15. So now we have 3x is equal to 15. Okay, now we want, when you are finding for x, you always want x to stand alone. You don't want any coefficient to be beside x. So then what you do is, whatever you do on the right side, you make sure you do on the left side. Okay, whatever you do on the right side, you make sure you do on the left side. So what happens is that we want x to stand alone, so we divide 3x with 3 so that 3 can cancel each other out. Okay, so whatever you do on the right side, you do on the left side. So 3 cancels each other, and then you have what? X is equal to 15 over 3. And 15 over 3 is the same as, it's equal to 5. 3, 1, 3, 3, 15 goes into 15 is 5. So that is why we have the answer x is equal to 5. So let's look at this question too. 30 minus 2p is equal to 8. So 30 minus 2p is equal to 8. We want this to be positive. So we are going to move this across the equal to sign. And what is going to happen? The sign is going to change to a positive 2p. Okay. And we want 8 to move to the other side. So when positive 8 moves to the other side, it's going to be negative 8. So let's write it in a good way. We are going to have 30 negative 8 is equal to 2p. Okay, so that is what we have here. So 30 minus 8 is what? 22, and we have it here, and 2p is down here. So we want p to stand alone, so we divide both sides with 2. We want p to stand alone, so whatever we do on the right side, we make sure we do on the left side. So we divide here by 2, divide here by 2, and what do we get? 11. So the answer will be p is equal to 11. Okay, so that is how to solve it. Now let's look at another type of algebraic expression where you substitute the value for an unknown into an expression and you correctly calculate the answer. So if you have something like z plus 7d, and then the value for z has been given to you to be 7, and the value for d has been given to you to be 4, you simply replace them into the algebraic expression, then you calculate. Okay, so here what do we get? We get, what is z? Z is 7, so we get 7 plus, what is d? So 7 times d. Remember, there was already 7 here, so 7 times d, and d is 4. D is 4. So what do we get? 7, 4 is 28. 28 plus 7 is 35. So our answer here is 35. Okay, let's look at the second one too. So S is 6, B is 2. Wherever you find S, you put 6. Wherever you find B, you put 2. So we have 4 minus 5S. So what is S? S is 6. So you multiply 5 by 6 and then plus 3 times, what is B? B is 2. So 3 times 2. So what do we have? So let's calculate the multiplication first before we do the addition and the subtraction. We have 5 times 6 is what? 30, plus 3 times 2 is 6. Okay, so after that, what do? We then simplify. So minus, remember this is a negative, so negative 30 plus 6. You are owing 30 and then you get 6. What do? You subtract it, so you still owe negative 24 and then 4. Okay, and then still this is a negative number and this is positive, so 4 minus 24. So what do? You have negative 20. Okay, so the same thing you do to this one. 8k, what is k? K is 2, so 8 times 2 plus d. What is d? D is 3, so a2 is 16. 16 plus 3 and it's 19. So the answer is 19. Okay, the same thing, you replace b wherever you find b and wherever you find r, and the same thing you do to this one. So it's simply as that. You only replace the values of the variable and then you simplify and solve for them. Okay, so that brings us to the end of our lesson in algebraic expression. I've given some questions and I hope this video will assist you to solve the questions. Until our next lesson, stay safe. Bye.